Mountain Man said he.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Peach State Power Hour. I'm your host, Terrace Reno. Alongside me, co-host from top right to the bottom, Andy Stowe, Eddie from Acworth. Gentlemen, for the first time in my history on this show,
Yes.
the 6 weeks or so, maybe 8 weeks now, coming off a Georgia loss. We did the Falcons loss.
Yeah,
Heck, we've had our fair share of Braves losses.
Yeah.
But the Dogs still have a Alabama problem, as the title of this video suggests. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor here. Let's get thoughts and reactions to that. A lot to digest. Even 24 hours later, haven't quite stomached it. I don't. As the post-game overreaction show is known for, hey, it's where you go to overreact. We don't want to overreact on this show. We want to bring you some nice, mild reactions.
No.
Maybe a little bit of overreactions. All right. Screw it. I almost said something else. Let's open the floor. Eddie, I'm going to make you go last. Andy,
I was there, and several thoughts. First thing is Kirby can never, ever again go up on a podium and talk about the fans better be elite. That place was so loud. That the wristbands, I know Eddie's kind of joked about it today. He's like, "Oh,
Andy,
cool."
Andy, let me stop you though. Did you watch this post game presser?
No, I was. Look, I'm
okay. Well, now to be fair, I understand. I watched it.
2 a.m. in the morning, I was out.
I understand, but let's be fair. He did say the fans were elite in his post game.
That's great. Okay, that's good.
That was the first thing he said. So
okay,
go ahead.
That's good. I didn't watch it. I'm taking 24 hours. I'm going to watch.
But I know where you're going. I know where you're going with it. Go ahead.
I'm going to watch press conferences and things tomorrow. But I just had to get away. No, the fans were elite. The lights are going off. The band's playing, and I'm telling you, my throat hurt so bad last night from yelling. Like all the people, Garrett Key, shout out to him for giving me the free ticket. That was awesome. The fans were elite. Can never complain about the fans again. 100%. Not one time. It's if he goes back up on a podium, and I love Kirby Smart, and says, if you want to be elite, you got to be elite fans. That's bull crap. He needs to shut that crap up. Second thing is same story, different chapter. This is I've sat here and I've been beating the drum that we were going to beat them. We were going to beat them easily. I said 34-24, so we were going to dominate. And what happened? They came out, slow start. We got dominated. We come back, should have won, but didn't happen. Same things happening over and over. We've been seeing it for 2 years. The offensive line is not good. They're struggling. They're getting the defensive line for Alabama just causing all kinds of havoc in the backfield. We have no pressure. We have zero pressure on the quarterback. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care who the wide receivers are. If there's no pressure on that guy, he's going to find someone. Look, Simpson's good. The dude's got an arm. He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
We made him look like he's Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady. There's problems. This is the same story we've been seeing for 2 years now. It's not getting better. It's time for Kirby to look in the mirror. It's time for Kirby to look at his coaches and say, okay, this guy is not efficient. And Eddie, I will comment on the offensive coordinator, but I'm letting you take that because I know where you want to go. So Eddie, what do you think about some?
I'd like for you to finish the thought. Go ahead.
Dude, it was terrible. God, it was terrible. Like you'll see great plays and like Bobo can draw up some great plays and then we'll miss a shot. We miss a wide open. I mean, Talon Taylor, he wide open would have walked in the end zone. Me and Garrett were sitting there watching him. I didn't know what happened. He did this weird little hitch jump thing. I don't know what happened. I couldn't. And I turned around and there was an Alabama fan behind me and he shook his head. He didn't know. And, and then of course there's a Bama fan saying, yeah, but we dropped one at the beginning of the game. Yeah. You went and scored though. We didn't score, but we would have walked in.
That's right.
We were taking the lead And then we decided to do that little weird Cash Jones, hurry up to the line. Let's get there, snap it. And he's getting hit 3 yards in the backfield. And you ran to your weakest side of the offensive line. They did, Foster, you're correct. But when it come down to it, we ran Cash Jones, a little 180 pound, 170 pound. We were going east and west when we needed 1 yard, which honestly, I thought he got the first down. I know that's another topic to discuss, but I'm not happy, guys. This is the most upset I've been about a Kirby Smart football team since he's been here. The first year when he was here, I didn't care because I knew it was a throwaway. It's different. This is a different feeling than I've ever had since Kirby's been here.
All right, is it my turn?
It's your turn. Go ahead. I'm about to get water now.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to go ahead and start taking notes.
Yeah. Andy's as upset and animated as I've ever seen Andy after a football game, really. And
hang on, can I interrupt you? Can we put up Kevin Jones? Can we put up his comment?
Which one?
There I need to check my demands of Kirby. You dude, 100% Kirby Smart. You are. Nobody has ever said that they know more than Kirby Smart about football. But if you, as a fan, are happy with this, maybe you need to check your fandom, because that is not what we need to see. We're getting owned by the same team every single year. And if you're happy with it, if you're happy with taking that step back down that we were in the Mark Richt era, go ahead. Good for you. That's great. I want elite. And yes, Kirby does not need to yell at the fans when the fans are elite. If you were not in that stadium last night, you do not know about how elite they were. That there was 95,000 screaming fans, elite. So, okay, go ahead, Eddie. Just had
to defend Andy here, you're not calling for Kirby Smart's head.
No, God, no.
Of course
Somebody
not.
said that.
And I think that's what that guy was getting at, right? I mean, that's kind of what that comment, maybe. I don't know. Well, first of all, Harrison, you opened the show talking about the post-game overreaction show and how brutal it was, but that's immediate reactions after the game, right? We've all kind of slept on it now and kind of digested it a little bit. It's not any easier to digest. It still sucks, but I could see this coming from a mile away, the way the game started, okay? And I was on my couch. You guys were there. It was coming through the TV like crazy. It was awesome. My wife is like, this is the most unbelievable atmosphere ever. And what did we do to start the game? 3 and out. They go down on a death march and score. Then we went 5 and out. They go down on another death march and score. And before you know it, it's 14-0. And I looked at my wife and said, this is Alabama playing the perfect half against Georgia, and we're never going to overcome it. This is what happens every time we play these guys. It's the same thing over and over. And what happens with that, guys, is Kirby gets out of his comfort zone and starts doing things like, what are you doing here? Instead of sticking with the run, because we were mashing them all night on the run, he calls these crazy plays. Bobo, whoever, he's on the headset just like Bobo is, so he can override whatever. So it's just nuts to me. I looked at the receiving core, guys, okay? And you guys may or may not know this. The first wide receiver who had the most catches, pretty obvious. Second, do you know who the third highest receiving wide receiver was to catch balls? You know who the third one was? Do you guys have any idea?
Go ahead.
Guess. It was Chauncey Bowens. No, it was Chauncey Bowens. It was Young, Branch, Sokovy, London, and Bowens. That was it. Those 5 guys caught passes. Where are the tight ends? Where is Noah Thomas? Where are the jump balls to these massive wide receivers? Now, they did one to Colby Young. Colby Young's a beast, by the way. That guy needs to get more touches. He's awesome. But it's Eddie, just like –
Eddie, hang on. I want to comment on that. Chauncey Bowens had 4 catches for 22 yards. Do you know how many times he rushed the ball?
No,
12.
I don't know that.
12 for 119. Why is that guy not touching? We had – Dwight Phillips, he got 1. Cash got 2. Why is this guy pound this guy? Like, why is he not? He clearly is our best back. He is the most complete back. We're going to have to start pounding this guy.
I agree. And once Frazier fumbled, he was done. He was pretty much out of the game, right?
Yeah, I don't think he came
Andy,
back
you're
in
right.
the second half. Yeah.
I don't know that he did, but you're right. It's almost like a back gets too hot. We got to put him on the sideline, let him rest, and put somebody else in. Chauncey Bowen should have been the running back the entire game, including that third and fourth down.
Josh McCray's coming in, pounding up the middle.
He's a goal line guy, right? I mean, that's what he is. That guy's a beast. I love him on the goal line, but you're right. Chauncey Bowen's to get us there. It's just crazy. And I know we're going to get more in detail on this fourth down that they ran with Cass Jones, but I'll just throw this to you, Harrison. My first reaction to that was they've reviewed everything under the sun this entire game, it seems like, okay? They were going to review that play, I think, when Gunnar Stockton looked like he picked up that first down because it was really close. There was no angle that showed it. Why rush to the line? Give them some time. Hell, I'd be happy with a timeout. Just sit there and let the refs review that. Maybe we get that first down and all this goes out the window and we end up scoring. Why didn't they just take their time and said they rushed to the line, run that play with Cash, and we all know what happened after that. That was the death knell when that happened. It's a lot. I know. It's a lot.
So, like, you were in the booth, right? Like, did you hear anything of why they did not challenge it, or why we just ran up there and ran this off the wall East and West play? And I know I forgot more about, or I don't know football, but whatever.
I did not know this until this morning. Okay. I didn't know it was even close to Gunnar being the first down. I didn't know that. I didn't learn that until I turned on Twitter this morning at around 10:30. And I saw Kirk Herbstreit was apparently talking about it.
He was
live in real time.
Yes.
And the explanation I have now seen is the reason they didn't stop it was because Georgia decided to go quick. But in that moment, my thought process from someone who's up there trying to cover the game from unbiased.
I want to stop. If that's the case, why when Georgia scored the touchdown before and we got on the ball quick to run it in, and then why did they challenge that? You know, that was same thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
We got the snap off, and then they said, "Oh no, wave it off. We're challenging it. Let's check the spot." It's bullcrap. That was just complete up bullcrap. And you know why? It's because of where's the SEC? Where's the headquarters at? It's right down there in T-Town. So
shout out Paul Maharry. Yeah, it's gonna be a show tonight. Look, Patrick Garvin was next to me. Jed May, Dash, the legend. I turned and I said, Jed, this is your favorite play in football, your favorite play in a Georgia game. They're going to get up to the line quick. They're going to do a hard count, and then take a timeout, and they're going to kick the field goal. That's what I thought. It's what I think a lot of people in the stadium thought. Guys, I don't like going, and I get it, it's hindsight, and this is one of the things I agree with everybody on. You've been trailing the entire game. Why not take the points? Your defense pitching a shutout, tie the game, take the little momentum, and just take that little moment. I know it's not a touchdown. Tie the game and keep playing. You didn't have to press to win that game. I agree with y'all on this. I wholeheartedly, and especially in hindsight. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
But just take the momentum. You had clawed your way back. Take the tie and live to fight another day. That's my opinion on the matter. Now, as for the rest of the game, I get it. There are people calling for heads on spikes, people calling for jobs. Look, I went back and rewatched the offense today on tape. I have not touched the defense. That's going to take a lot of time to digest. I made it through the first 2 or 3 drives. It's going to take a lot of time to digest. Offensively, I know there are criticisms about the usage of Gunnar Stockton. Guys, Georgia ran for, checks notes, 245 yards against Alabama. That's 6.9 yards per carry. I went to do some digging today. Can anyone guess how many times Georgia's averaged over 6 yards or more per carry against Power 5 opponents in the Kirby Smart era?
No idea.
28 times.
28. Wow.
In that time span, they're 26-2 in those games. Can anyone guess how many times Georgia's rushed for over 200 yards in a game?
I bet.
In the Kirby Smart era.
Versus Bama or total?
Just overall, in every Kirby Smart game, they've ran for over 200 yards 60 times. they're 56-4.
Wow.
With one of those losses coming last night. Every padlock stat, aside from the one Brent Rollins gave us, which I will read out to you in a little bit, says Georgia wins this game. 245 yards on the ground. Alabama had 128, averaging 3.1 yards per carry. I get it. The offensive line had some issues. You had some pressures, but that was a much better performance than the performance I saw in Tennessee. I don't want to be harsh on the offensive line. I thought they played well. They moved that Alabama front consistently. Georgia won this game up front on both sides of the ball against the run. Alabama was one-dimensional on offense. All right? Every single time we talk about a Kirby Smart defense and Georgia's defense, what do we say? Georgia's going to take away the run and make you pass the ball. And you're going to live and die by the pass. And in the last 10 years, that's how Georgia wins. Heck, that's how Georgia beat Texas twice last year. Yep. They forced them to throw the ball, they sacked them 13 times. Yeah. All right? So look, that's where the conversation starts for me. That's where the concerns start for me, is Georgia was able to allow them to be one-dimensional, which is crucial. Every time Georgia's been successful defensively is because they're taking away the run. What's going on up front? What's going on in the back end? That, for me, that's where the question lies. Now, I'm not here for there's issues with Mike Bobo. Mike Bobo called a good game. Called a good enough game outside of one or two situations.
Yeah.
But look, no offensive coordinator in the history of football is going to be perfect. I get it. And to answer the question about fourth down, Kirby Smart said post-game, they made that decision to go for fourth down on third down, which is normal. That's how everybody does it. I don't agree with the call. I get it. Y'all don't agree with the call. Nobody agrees with the damn call because they didn't get it. All right? But that's the way it turned out.
I was okay with them going for it. The call was terrible. It was a terrible call. So.
And look, there's also truth to this. Somebody pointed out in the comments, and it's all over Twitter. You can go find it. Juan Gaston, the right tackle, blows an assignment.
He whiffed
on the block. And if that block was made, you probably pick up the first down. So is that the
you probably probably score a touchdown because he's one-on-one with one guy. That's it.
And that's the point I want to make to everybody tonight. Are we going to fire the coordinator because in the spot of the game, a player whiffs and that destroys the play? I think that's football at the end of the day. And I get it. It feels like every time Georgia loses a game or Georgia has a bad play, we're talking, players blew the assignment. I get it. I get it. But I watched a team, an offensive line, a run game on Saturday that was simply one of the best pound-for-pound performances I've seen from them in the last few years. So I'm holding off on the Mike Bobo's a problem. I won't comment on Stacey Searles. I get it. There is a rap sheet longer than some of the famous criminals in the world. But look, guys, I'm not here that the sky is falling. Maybe the sky is falling defensively. I am certainly concerned. But offensively, the buck stops at you had a stupid fourth down play that did not go your way, and it felt a la 2018 SEC Championship. I get it. But other than that, I'm not here to overreact about the offense because if the offense plays the way they did on Saturday, they should win out. They are good enough to win 10 games to put you in college football playoff. Are they going to win the college football playoff? Maybe not. But if you rush for 245 yards against everybody else on your schedule, I like the chances of being probably at least winning one or at least losing one of your final games. Just one.
We're playing behind every single week, though. Every single week we are behind. That is true. The offensive coordinator.
But
every single week you're playing behind. I've defended Mike Bobo. I've sat here and said, he's not a problem, blah, blah, blah. And it's time. He's every single – this is the same thing. Since Todd Monken left left Buttsmere, we've said the same thing over and over. We've been saying the offense starts slow. They struggle. They do not make the plays when they need it. And we say the offensive line is terrible. What's the two constants right there? Is Paul Maharry getting on here? Hop on here, dude. I can't defend him anymore. We're seeing it every week. We start slow. If we start slow, we started slow last week. I know we did have the immediate response to Tennessee's touchdown. We scored right after that, but then they got up on us by, was it 21-7? Because we couldn't do anything. I'm just not with it anymore. I can't defend Bobo. And yeah, if we want to go ahead and go over to the defense, let's talk about that defense because my God, this is not a Kirby Smart defense that we come to love. And I know Jordan Davis isn't suiting it up. And
hold on, Andy, real quick. I want to acknowledge this. It's crazy. Not this. Guys, we have fallen behind on chats. I apologize. We got like 20,000 comments. Y'all are absolutely killing it. We're like 19 minutes in. I haven't been able to keep up because we're going all over the place. It's everywhere. We appreciate y'all for being here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the Peach State Power Hour. That's Andy Stowe. That's Dave from Acworth. Andy, go ahead and take away. I'm sorry. I wanted to go ahead and acknowledge it because there's so many comments, more than I can show on the screen. But I'm trying.
No, it's good. We are now let's talk about the defense. There is absolutely zero pass rush, and I don't care if we have Champ Bailey starting cornerback, and if we have, I'll shout out Greg Blue because he was there last night, and Champ was as well. I don't care who is playing back there, Thomas Davis, Sean Jones. It doesn't matter. If you're getting no pass rush, the wide receivers are going to find their way open. Ty Simpson stood in that pocket, and he may have to move. He had to move some, but dude, we have no pass rush. And they can, I don't know if it's the Jimmies and Joes or the X's and O's. I don't know. We can sit here and blame it on whatever, but I think James Caraway or Paul, one of you guys in the text said, yeah, each week we hear, oh, they get the ball out so fast, but then the next week, the team that supposedly gets it out so fast gets sacked 4 times, and we don't get a sack.
Roll moment.
We got to get it.
No, he's not an elite coordinator. That's never been the argument, but he's much better than some of you people that want him fired because of what he did in 2007. That's my only comment on this question for the rest of the night. All right. He's not God. He's not the greatest ever. Neither was Todd Monken. Todd Monken won 2 championships, and that's good. But y'all want to Todd Monken out more times than you want to admit. So miss me with that. Thank you. Proceed.
No, but my point is we've got to figure out some pass rush. And I don't know what they're going to have to do, if that means wait until the end of the year and you go portal shopping and you just open the checkbook and you get some edge guys. But something's got to change because any quarterback can find somebody open when they're not getting hit.
Thank you, John Green. We all need.
All right, thank you, John Green. All right, so this game was a tale of 2 halves, right? The first half, the defense was an absolute sieve, was it not? Cole Kubelic, great tweet he put up. The defense gave up 13 third downs. 13. That's the most that Georgia has given up in 30 years. Just let that roll around in your head for a second, okay? The defense was putrid. Now, Andy, you said they weren't rushing the quarterback. In my opinion, just sitting on my couch, they were rushing the quarterback.
No, I didn't say they weren't rushing. I just said they can't get there.
Yeah. They can't get there. That's exactly right. They can't, for whatever reason, they cannot get home. I don't know what it is.
Is it the X and O's or the Jimmies and Joes?
I don't know. I don't know, okay? But that's the first half. The second half, it completely flipped. The defense pitched a shutout, and your offense in 3 possessions couldn't get any points.
Yeah.
They were just floundering around. That was the opportunity to win this football game. It just drove me crazy that they couldn't get anything going on offense in the second half. It was absolutely maddening. I don't understand it. But let me ask you guys a question. It's kind of rhetorical. I know what you guys are going to say. Who feels better about their football team today as fans? The University of Georgia or Georgia Tech? Who feels better about their football team right now?
We got a opposite of John Green.
That's hilarious.
So y'all just gonna go right by what I asked?
No. We give John Green crap 100%. For glazing. I had to give Mike Honcho I right now with Georgia Tech's schedule, I would say Georgia Tech fans feel pretty damn good.
They do.
To answer your question.
Okay. So I agree. The Tech fans feel great, and they should. So what is Georgia Tech and Brent Key doing with their offense? What are they doing? The whole offense revolves around Haynes King. Okay. Now, granted, he's kind of a different player than Gunnar Stockton, but in my opinion, this offense is not using Gunnar Stockton properly. They are not. And I think it goes back to they are so afraid of him getting injured. Do you think Brent Key gives one crap about Haynes King getting injured?
No.
He doesn't care. Go out there and win the football game. And that guy's a warrior. I understand he's a little bit different. But to me, Where was the Hunter Harrison? We talked a little bit on text about the read pass option and all that kind of stuff. It, to me, there was like 2 or 3 plays where Gunner actually handed the ball or kept it, ran. They should be doing that. They should have done that on the first play of the game, right up the middle. Let Gunner keep it and run around the end and see what happens. They are not using Gunner properly.
I think they came out a little bit more aggressively, and I think than maybe we had all thought, because I think early in that game there were a few plays, the first 2 drives, I think the first 2 third downs, you saw Gunner try and move up in the pocket and throw it instead of like tucking and running when he should. Yeah. I think he was trying. I think they were trying to be too aggressive early in the game, and I think Gunner was maybe a little bit not nervous, but I think he was just playing with a little, like he was pressing a little bit too much. Which is why
there should be more read option plays for Gunner Stockton. That's my point.
I agree with you, and I know what you're saying. Here's the problem with, I guess, it's hard to know what the call is, because on that 4th down play, if there was an option to pull it, he probably should have pulled it.
Yes.
Same thing with the one that I sent the clip of to y'all.
Yeah.
Of the one where they gave it to Branch. If he had a chance to pull it, he should have kept it. So, and that's what makes it hard. But as I texted you earlier,
Harrison, that's 2 plays.
But no, they were all night long. I saw he would roll out. He would hand it off, and then he would come around the edge, and nobody was even looking at him. Like he could have ran for days.
Exactly.
And so that's to Eddie's point. But yes, like he had, and Harrison, you're talking about how he sort of was coming up in the pocket and then stopping and trying to throw. I wonder if it's because everybody's been saying, "Oh, keep your eyes up, throw down the field, stop running." And if he's like, "Screw this, I'm not going to run, I'm going to throw it," and now he's sort of in the middle of, "Oh crap, do I throw? Do I run?" And it got a little too much. So yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, it's 100%.
I think they've become protective of him, and they're just so afraid of what happened last year where Carson got hurt. Oh my God, we got to go to a backup now. We're in trouble. They don't want that to happen again. I kind of get it. But this kind of goes back to the Falcons and the preseason and the injuries and all that. Let the guy play. No, I know. Let the guy play. I don't care, And Gunner, that's his mindset. He's a warrior. He wants to go out there and run. And I think, Andy, you're exactly right. He's now kind of thinking twice about what he should be doing. Where normally he'd just be like, I'm taking off because there's green grass in front of me. And he's like, well, I better throw the ball now because the coaches don't want me to get hurt.
Okay, well, let's flip that to the defense. There were so many times last night you would see the players waving like, "What am I doing on defense?" They didn't know what to do.
Not set. It was
terrible.
This
defense? I mean, again, we don't know what they're calling. We don't know how it's going, but
you can see it though, Andy, on TV. You could see they were not even close to being lined up.
Y'all remember when Todd Grantham was here? We would be running around looking like chickens with our heads cut off, and then we go out and get Jeremy Pruitt, simplified it. It made it easier. They were able to play fast. And then Kirby gets here, and we had Dan Lanning, the guys were playing fast. And now it looks like they're playing a little slow because they're not exactly sure where to go. So it's like I saw it many times. And when they were on the end of the field where we were sitting, they would be jumping up and down, waving. And Kirby ended up, there was one play, Kirby come running down the sideline and took a timeout because if he didn't, they were about to score easy. Like they could have walked in the end zone, and Kirby took that timeout. And I think we actually held them to a field goal on that drive as well. But, or they might have, But it was, something's up with the defense. They're not playing fast. They look lost. And does that go back to losing a coordinator and we didn't replace him with an elite coordinator? That's what I'm wondering. If we took a step back.
And I know this is from a few minutes back, but like I said, I'm trying to catch up on comments as much as I can. Great point here. GT should, like they said, got saved by the refs. That controversial no call on the offsides.
Very much.
How would y'all feel? Like, would you feel as great as Georgia Tech fans are supposedly feeling if Georgia had gotten bailed out by the refs in this game? If something had gone,
screw it. I don't care. I'll take a win.
5-0. Tech's 5-0. I mean, that's nothing to sniff at. Tech has gone years with losing games like that against Wake or whatever, right? Yeah. Or losing to a Patsy. They're not. They're finding ways to win. We found ways to lose last night. That's what we did.
Yes, that is one. We did not do this under Kirby Smart until the last couple of years. And I see, Alex, you're making a great points about young guys being in new positions. I get it. I'm with you. But this isn't something that's just going on these last 3 or 4 games. This is the last 2 years. And I just can't – I'm not – there he is, mustache and all. Welcome, ex-host.
You guys gotta calm down.
You took my spot, dude.
Calm down.
Yeah, put him back up there. I'll put him back up there. I can't take a spot like that. I think we're both doing it at the same time. Stop.
You do it.
Paul, sir, are we wrong? Where are we wrong? What's going on here?
Okay. I don't think you're wrong, right? I think I tweeted out last night. And first off, thank you for having me. I know I still have access to get in here myself, but you put me
Thank
on.
you for coming on, Paul. We appreciate it.
That's why my mouth dropped. And my jaw dropped like when Georgia went for it on 4th down. I was like, then I saw Paul Harry hop in here. I was like,
that 4th and 1 was terrible. I know that they said, that was the play sequencing, right? And you almost could tell, right, on that 3rd down play that they were going to go for it on 4th down there, no matter what. And Kirby said if they gained positive yardage, they were going to go for it. And you could tell that was kind of the setup there. They tried to go fast, and you go to the inexperienced side of your offensive line to do that, and it didn't work out.
That's why you go left.
Yeah. You go left there. Gunner potentially takes that himself. That play in and of itself, we can criticize all day long. It's the 3rd and 9 where they're trying to drive down the field and they put Cash in motion and they throw it 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And there was never a chance of that play becoming a successful gainer for you in that situation. I don't think Gunner played bad. There were some folks calling for Gunner's head last night on Twitter. I think he did fine. The game dictated going to the run because Alabama just couldn't stop it. Chauncey Bowens looks like Nick Chubb 2.0 the way he runs. He's got that shoulder tilt too. He looks exactly like
he hits the hole when he goes. It's seeing it live, man. It's crazy seeing how much difference it is live.
Well, and I think y'all were talking about.
Not real quick, not to toot my own horn. Chauncey Bowens was my guy last year. I got a lot of shit for that when Nate Frazier went off. And I said, look, Chauncey Bowens is my guy. And here he is. That's all I want to say on that.
I think we were talking about with Gunner how he was probably being told, or it's like everyone's telling him, hey, keep your eyes up. Try and make the play downfield. Don't tuck and run so quickly. I think that's been the biggest thing with Bowens is I think Nate Frazier's been overcoached. Like the first game, his debut, you had Kirby in the postgame presser talking about how he was telling him to stop bouncing outside. And I think that's hurt Nate a little bit because I think now he's just trying to hit the hole he's supposed to instead of trusting his vision, trusting his eyes, and bouncing outside. I sent y'all a clip of Chauncey Bowens pressing that thing inside, knowing that's where it's designed to go, gets the corner to get out leverage, and he bounces outside and gets a first down run. And I think that's been the difference. And hopefully, we talked about it the other week. There's nothing better than watching an angry running back after a fumble, after a mistake. Sony Michel in the Rose Bowl. Nate, I'm still hoping Nate gets it together. I think he has all the talent to do so. And I'm by no means are we out on Nate Frazier. But right now, like y'all are saying, feed the hot hand. Feed him. And that's Chauncey Bowens right now.
I'm sorry, I'm taking over comments for you, Harrison.
Thank you, because we are behind. Right.
He says we're missing the Big Brother. No, it doesn't start till 8:30, Jermaine. There's no way I'm missing the finale. Of Big Brother.
Paul knows. Believe me, Paul knows.
Yeah, I was only here for another 30 minutes, then he's out.
I'm out, brother. The other thing, guys, and if you go back on these Peach State Power Hour shows, I think what did we call it beforehand?
It was the All Things George Collins show.
So way back, I said, look, man, there's going to be some NIL parity that happens, and you're not. We
all knew that, Paul. I mean, that was kind of obvious it was coming, right?
But not to the extent that you go look at the 5-stars now and you go look at them last year. There's over 20 teams that have a 5-star compared to 5 years ago. There was 4, and it was spread out, and each team had 6 or 7 guys. Right. It's just not there anymore. And what you're going to end up seeing is close games like this where there's just so many evenly matched teams now. Mississippi State took Tennessee to the wire yesterday. Are they won the game? There's a lot.
Wake Forest took Tech to the wire, right? I mean, there you go.
And you're going to see that. I think 3-loss teams are going to be the norm now. And Georgia should have won that game last night. They should have. The problem, though, is we talked about the offensive side, the defensive side, not getting any pressure. And Kirby said in his press conference, and I've said this before on the show too, you got to listen to what Kirby says. He'll tell you what you want to hear. You just got to listen to it in between what he's saying. Yeah. They sat back in coverage a lot. But the problem was they sat back in coverage, and the 4 guys rushing could not get home.
They could not. I'm Ty
4 or 5 seconds.
Ty Simpson literally wrote an autobiography back there, got it reviewed, and then
threw the ball, and then threw the touchdown passes.
And then it was on the Amazon store before the game was over. That's how long he had back there. It's bad.
All right, so let me kick it around right now. So right now we're 12th. We're going to get to that, 12th, Harrison, in just a second. We're 12th, which means we're out of the playoffs, technically speaking, right? Because we're 13th, right? That's another team comes in ahead of us.
Yeah,
I know, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant right now.
Right.
2 questions. Is this a playoff defense? Is this a playoff offense?
I think
last night, the way the defense played, they can't play like that and make the playoffs. Not like that. Now, can the offense from a run it for 245 yards, and if you catch the Talon Taylor drop touchdown, you're looking at another 200-yard passing game from Gunnar Stockton. That can play deep into January. But
the running game, absolutely.
They have to finish drives at the end of the day. And that's where I think all of us can agree. The offense did a good job of putting themselves in positions to try and finish a drive, but they did not finish them. All right.
So are you saying defense no, offense yes? Is that what you just said, Harrison?
In its current form, defense no, for me. Now, I think that can change. Hopefully.
What about the offense? I'm assuming
it will. Offense, I mean, I think the ceiling for this offense has yet to be reached.
Is that playoff caliber?
With what I saw last night, I think this offense is good enough to win you 10 games, and that
you think the offense could look better than it did against Tennessee?
I don't know if it's going to score 40 points that many times this year. But look, as we talked about in the offseason, guys, and I kind of wrote this on the vent in my unfiltered day after thoughts. It's like, was this a exposure of a glaring flaw, fatal flaw? Or is this just a dose of reality, kind of like we talked about in the offseason of the game? Like, this isn't going to be an offense where you want to be behind and you want to spot opponents' points early. This is an offense you want to get out in front. You're going to lean in your run. You're going to lean in the opponent, and you're trying to dominate on the ground. And you're going to build your passing game off of what you can do in the run game.
But that the problem with that, Harrison, is that is exactly the Kirby Smart philosophy.
Yeah, he doesn't. And it always needs a defense. Exactly.
He doesn't have the defense to do that.
And we went out there and we paid Noah Thomas how much money? Where's he at? Is that guy? Does he play? All we heard all of fall camp was Noah Thomas is making ridiculous plays, and you see how fast he is, how big he is, and now they don't even throw it to him. And I know, Eddie, you mentioned the jump ball. Where is the jump ball? We got guys that are 6'5", 6'6". We have tight ends that are 6'5", 6'6". We don't even try to throw to those guys in the end zone. And when Alabama got into the end zone and they were on our side, then Ty Simpson sent somebody, I don't know who he sent in motion. He pulled him over to the left side of the field. And when he did, he saw the corner lead or go with him. So he knew it was man, and he tapped his right leg, and he was telling the wide receiver a jump ball. And of course we stopped it. I think that was when we stopped him in the end zone, but he called it. He tried it. We don't even try that. We got guys that are giants. We don't even try it. So where do we go?
Real quick, before one of y'all jump in here. I like this point. Bama didn't score it all in the first half. If they put that together for 4 quarters, absolutely, I'm with you.
But there's a lot of teams that if they put it all together in 4 quarters could
for sure
playoff team.
Yeah. And look, I'm tired of like last year. All last year was about like, can Georgia finally put things? And you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. At some point, you have to throw the waiting out and say, hey, this is who they are.
This is who we are.
We're not we're not at that point yet this year, but. Yeah. We don't have too many more games before we hit the point of, hey, they are who they are. All right. Now, look, I want to address this. I don't know if we've given the offense a pass on this show. We certainly haven't. No.
You missed the first part of the show. We were firing Mike Bobo and Stacey Searles and everyone.
Paul Maharry is going to be calling the offense first 30 minutes of the show.
You wouldn't want that, but Noah Thomas was in for 25% of the plays yesterday, 7 pass and 7 run. I do not remember seeing him in there for that many plays.
Yeah,
but still, even then, that's Dylan Bell was in for more plays. London Humphreys was in for more plays. Zach Branch was in for more plays than Colby Young. Colby Young and Zach Branch, the only two that should be in before Noah Thomas.
I know the answer to this. How many catches did Noah Thomas have yesterday? And that would be a big goose egg.
I don't think he had it. How many does he have on the season?
How many targets does he have? Does he have a target?
Let's see. Noah Thomas, Georgia Bulldogs wide receiver. Oh, my God, boys.
Is it 4?
3 receptions for 24 yards.
And
was that all versus Austin P?
Yes, it was.
I wonder what we paid him.
So zero catches against Tennessee, 0 catches against Alabama, 3 catches against Austin P. Last year, just for reference, he had 39 catches, 574 yards, and 8 touchdowns for Texas A&M.
There were people saying this guy was going to be a 1,000-yard receiver for us this year. Like he was going to be our 1,000-yard guy.
Here's another one. Just I don't want to keep rubbing salt in the wound. 7 receptions for 21 yards. Guess who that guy is?
It's Dylan Bell.
It's Dylan Bell.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
not him.
I don't know. And it's really a lot of this offense. I know they talked about it. I think it was Bobo in the preseason, the fall camp presser. He was talking about they're no longer they're getting away from. I'll have to go back and find the quote because it's an interesting quote. He was talking about we're no longer designing plays for specific guys?
Yeah.
Or was it the opposite? Was it he's no longer designing plays for specific guys and they're just going through, I guess, just designing plays and trying to figure out where the ball is going? But I mean, to me, yeah, you would love for Noah Thomas. It's been a really slow start. You're thinking he was going to have a much better start to the year, and he may still do that. But I think on the positive side, it's not like, hey, this guy's severely underperforming and nobody else is stepping up. I've been impressed with Colby Young. I didn't know how productive he could be after the catch. I didn't think we were going to see a whole lot of Colby Young getting it at -3 and having to go fight for some yardage. Like I thought that was going to be a guy, was going to be your slant guy, was going to be your deep ball guy, like the traditional 6'4" receiver mold. But
no, he's making himself some NFL money this year.
Yeah, he's making it happen. And I know Chris Hayes is in here, and that man watches tape and does his own show. Shout out. We appreciate you for being here with us and the good work you do on social media, Chris. And Chris can speak to this as well. Right now, Georgia's passing game isn't so much of we're just going to throw it up and screw it. He's down there somewhere. You know? Like, that's just not what it is. And I'd argue with the way Zachariah, has been playing, you don't want to go to that. Like, you want to get these guys, get them the ball in space and let them create, because that's what, when they've been explosive, that's what they've been doing. But then again, everyone's most hated play is the damn screen pass. And I get it. But anyways,
so let me throw this out to you guys. James brought this up last night and was absolutely killed for it. Our buddy James Caraway, he was great on the post-game overreaction show. He said Kirby / Dabo Sweeney, and he got a lot of crap for that. But I think his points are kind of valid. How much do we miss Damon Wilson? How much do we miss having Caleb Downs on this team? And is Kirby Smart kind of Dabo-ish in the fact that he's like, I'm not paying those guys. They can walk. And now it's hurt this football team because he could have had Damon Wilson. He could have had Caleb Downs if he had if Kirby says, I want these guys, they're going to make it happen. So is Kirby kind of behind the 8 ball there and making the wrong decisions when it comes to players and paying them?
There's only so much money you can spend, right? I mean, there's
not. That's crap. I don't agree with that at all.
Maybe not. I don't know. And if that's the case,
Georgia. Come on.
It is, but
tell me Ohio State has unlimited funds.
Apparently.
Really? I don't believe that for a second. Sorry.
I don't know. They seem to get anybody they want now. I mean, but
look at the way Georgia's pass rush has been playing. What does an extra safety do to you? Georgia had Malachi Starks in the back end, and your back end was still pretty bad last year.
You put Damon Wilson in there. Would you have with Damon Wilson right now, Harrison?
Well, I would absolutely take a Damon Wilson, but when has Georgia ever had this 20-sack defensive end that just goes off? Like, it's never been that.
Yeah.
So does one guy really change all that much? Maybe you have a few more sacks, but I mean, people can take away an
2
edge
sacks
rusher.
last night. That probably changes the football game.
I agree, but I'm saying I don't think teams can take away one dominant player. You can throw away from a Caleb Downs. It may not go well, but it's better than throwing at him. You can double team an edge rusher. You can triple team an edge rusher. Like, I'm with you. I think I'm not going against it. I think losing Damon Wilson has turned out to be a much bigger issue than a lot had anticipated. I was thinking Gabe Harris was going to have a really big year, and he's yet to have that. It's been a little disappointing in that. I'm not sure if Georgia was expecting Tyrion Dawkins to leave early. Not saying he would be a multi-sack guy, but that's just another veteran on a front that doesn't have as much returning production coming into the year.
Yeah.
But I will say this. For all the they have to figure out the pass rush, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't. There's people smarter than me that can maybe give answers. I've been really impressed with how they've done against the run. That's the one thing I'm gonna give them credit for. They're doing half of what they're supposed to.
The run.
Well, if they can just figure out how to be above average in the pass rush, they can be really good.
That also, if you go back to preseason, the interviews with Jordan Hall and the likes, he said, our number one goal is to stop the run. He said that. I mean, that's what they're doing. But the problem with stopping the run is if you get up against a team, your defensive backs just aren't what you thought they were going to be. So you get up against a team that can sit back there, and you have a quarterback. Eddie last night was saying Ty Simpson is amazing. I don't know if he's amazing, but you could give just about any quarterback in the SEC the amount of time that he had, that he would look exactly the same.
Yeah.
He airmailed some throws.
He was amazing against us. That's what I was getting at.
And Roddy Fly, I'm not
in the first half. He was
first half. He looked good.
I'm not questioning Caleb Downs. My point is simply, how much does an extra safety help you right now with a pass rush that had 4 pressures on 50 dropbacks?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does an extra safety do?
I don't know that safety is there.
I think it helps you in the back end a little bit.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
But does Georgia win that game because Caleb Downs is patrolling the safety?
Okay, Caleb Downs may be a bad example, but there's other players you can talk about that got after the quarterback that are gone now, right?
Sure.
I mean,
and that's very valid. You don't have a Jalen Walker or Michael. That's very valid.
And also the other 3 safeties that you brought in, transfer safeties, haven't been
haven't played
game changers at all.
No,
not at all.
You're going with Kyron Jones, and then when Kyron Jones came out, they put in Ja'Cory Thomas.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Thomas, and Maddox was in there.
Adrian Maddox is not even seeing the field. That was your guy, and
he was playing. No, he was playing last night. I saw him out there.
I know, but he hadn't done much.
Yeah, he ain't done much. Yeah, he hadn't done. He's not Caleb Downs. To your point, so.
I don't know if he was out there. Defensive backs, Trent doesn't have him out there. Had KJ Bolden.
I didn't think Maddox got on the field.
Oh, maybe it was Kieran Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, you had KJ Bolden, Everett, Aguero, Kyron Jones, DeMello Jones, Ellis Robinson, and Ja'Cory Thomas. Those were the guys that played.
Hold on, boys. Real quick. I don't know what they look like on TV. I haven't watched them much on TV this year, but I promise you go stand next to some of those human beings. They are not tiny.
Yeah, they're not.
They are the opposite of tiny.
And not a lot of people, Harrison, have got to experience standing on the sidelines with those guys. You can see them in the stadium, like where Andy was sitting, had great seats. You can see how big they are. But when you get up there and you're standing on the sidelines and you're within 5 feet of those guys, I mean, Jordan Hall is a beast.
Eddie, how tall?
And maybe this is the difference.
All right, I'm tired of hearing about that. I am. You know what was a beast last night was Kalen DeBoer throwing a swing pass to a lineman who punked us down and almost scored a touchdown. Okay, that was basically an FU Georgia. We're going to show you what we can do here, and you can talk all about all these great, huge guys. What do you mean? How do you stop that? That was an
gigantic man.
Dude,
we are here
juggernaut running down the field
in your stadium.
He looked like a juggernaut. Like, have you ever played? You haven't played Call of Duty, but you get the juggernaut suit on. That's what Caden Proctor looked like, dude. And you can't take down the juggernaut. No. It takes multiple guys.
You got to hit his knee. Yeah, you got to take.
Yeah. Where's our juggernaut? All right. Let's stop. All right, let me ask you guys a question.
Not everybody has a 360-pound offensive lineman you can put in motion. That's a freak. He's a freak.
We have Juan Gaston.
Not a single.
You tell me you couldn't do that with Juan Gaston. They're never going to do that.
360 pounds.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Juan Gaskin could do what Caden Proctor. No, I don't think he could.
the point of that basically was F you, Georgia. That's what that was.
Yeah.
That's what that was. It was awful to watch that. I was like, are you kidding me? They're laughing at us right now. It was terrible.
It's called a magic. I mean, look, David West, I'm sure if they did it and it didn't work, y'all would have been pissed that he threw a screen pass.
Yeah, for sure.
So it goes both ways. Look, and I really hate it that we have to come on here and defend the coaches because, look, I'm going to put it this way. We have no reason to defend coaches. It's just where we stand. We're 4 games in. There's no reason to be talking about coaches at the University of Georgia right now. There's no reason to be talking about it, all right? It's not going to happen 4 games into the season.
No, it's
not.
Not. It's not.
So we're wasting our breath here. But to the point, this is why we've been focusing on what's happening in the game. Because we can sit here all day and fantasize about who's coaching here, who's not. But at the end of the day, the 40 minutes, 50 minutes we just did talking about the actual game and not who's on the sidelines, way more productive than talking about the damn coaches.
The problem,
I think all 4 of us are in agreement.
The problem with that, though, is this isn't just 4 games. This is the same thing we saw last year through 14 or 15 games.
And over.
It's the same thing we've been seeing since Dan Lanning and since Todd Monken left. That's the issue. It's not a 4-game thing. And I think that's James's point about Dabo. It looked like it just sort of like, oh, I'm digging my foot in and this is the way I'm doing it. And exactly. Great. It was a great call. It was a great play. But I think that's the thing. It's not something we've just seen for 4 years. We've been seeing it for the past, 2 years now. And that's my issue with it. So,
okay. So here's the thing though. Kirby's not going to fire anybody right now. Okay.
No, of course not.
So which is why I say, what's the point of talking about it?
Exactly.
That's my point.
Yeah, right.
That's my point.
So how do you fix it then? How do you fix it to where, because Georgia opened up against Kentucky as a 21.5-point favorite. I don't know how far that's gone down, but I'm sure that's probably not going to be the final line.
We will not beat them 21
points. And then you have Ole Miss afterwards, which has a very high potent offense with
we have Auburn after that. It's Auburn after that, right?
Excuse me.
Well, and look, and Mississippi State looks like a much tougher test than it did coming into the year.
So we can look at this one of 2 ways. The Tennessee game went in Georgia's favor, right?
Yeah.
The Alabama game did not. Would your opinion change of this team if those were reversed? You won 1 on the road in a shootout, and you lost 1 at home when you had a chance to win it. So if the roles were reversed, you were 3-1, and those 2 losses were different. Will we be? I think what's happening is there's Alabama fatigue. Is what it is.
It is. I mean, Kirby's 1-7 against them.
Yeah, and I think I wish Kevin Johns would come on the show, and we should give him an open invite.
Give him an open mic. Yes, because apparently he knows everything. But
it's one of those things. And Chris Hayes is right. Miss State and Vanderbilt aren't your bottom dwellers anymore. There are no bottom dwellers in the SEC anymore. Everybody has money now. There are no bottom dwellers. There are some still left in the Power 4, but not a lot in the Power 4. No. You're going to see this. And I think you have to come to the realization you're going to lose some of these games. It's just the bottom line.
That's okay, Paul, but it's just over and over. This Alabama thing, I can't get past it. It's just it's bad. It's really bad.
It is kind of incredible how it feels like you watched the same game 8 times. It is kind of incredible.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, if this game was against Ole Miss, I don't think you would be as upset as you are because it was Alabama.
Probably right. That's fair. That's 100% fair. And you know what? You said that, Paul. You asked me that question. If we were 3-1 right now and we had lost to Tennessee and beaten Bama, I'd feel good right now.
Right.
I would.
So you're right.
But
you're still the same
Alabama has been the precedent. Okay. I know it's Kalen DeBoer. I know things have changed. But that's Kirby's bugaboo, and he can't get past that, okay? He can't. And we may see these bastards again. That's the problem.
Yeah, I can't wait what's going to happen on this show next Sunday if Alabama loses to Vanderbilt. We're going to have to do this all over again.
It's not going to happen. God. That is not going to happen.
They did last year. They did last year.
They're at home. They're going to destroy Vanderbilt. You mark my words. They're going to kill them.
I thought with Bama being on the road, I didn't think they're going to play half as well, half as disciplined as they did last night. So weirder things have happened.
Did they play well?
Have a freak out.
Did they play well, or did Georgia just not play good?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think Georgia didn't play as good as they probably should have because Alabama.
I also think it's partly because Georgia is not as good as you think they are, Paul. They're not.
I think that's where the issue is. We're not at that elite level anymore.
We're not.
How many teams are though? Ohio State, maybe.
Thank you.
Ohio State, maybe.
Ohio State is.
Maybe
State,
Oregon. Yeah. So
what team in the SEC? What team in the SEC is elite?
I mean, right now.
Ole Miss is a terrible defense.
It's too early to tell.
That offense that Ole Miss is throwing out there.
Look, if it's too early to tell if a team's elite right now, then how is it too early to tell that Georgia's not elite? I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm truly like they could turn things around. There are glaring weaknesses with this team, though. The amount of time that Ty Simpson had in the pocket is unbelievable. And I know you're dropping.
That's what I can't get past. That first.
I know you're dropping 7 guys. I get that, but those 7 guys cannot cover for 10 seconds. You can't. They can't cover for 6 seconds. It's tough.
No.
Look, I think it's
right, but how do they haven't fixed that problem? In what are we now? 3-1, 4-1. What's our record?
Well, we didn't get a pass rush last year either. And I know, according to the chat room, that's not true. But we didn't get a pass rush last year. So
hey, let me ask you guys a question. Who's the leader on this team?
I would disagree with Andy on that point. I don't think pass rush was a problem last year. I think in games where teams are. No, I mean, when you get 13 sacks, how can the pass rush be the problem? I don't think you were as good as
one team.
But here's the issue. I don't think they were as good as stopping the run last year, which leads to pass rush issues because you have to earn the right to rush the passer. If you can't stop the run, you can't rush the passer. This year, it's the opposite. Teams can't run the ball, but Georgia can't rush the passer.
You can't rush the passer.
All right, so I'll go back to what I was saying. We didn't know who our leader was last year.
At some point,
who cares about the Falcons?
Who cares? They won. Great. Yeah. They're going to lose next week. Who cares? Yeah. Who's the leader on this team? Because we didn't know who the leader was last year. Who's the leader right now? Look, you're all going, we don't know.
We don't know.
That's not good.
Will there ever be as clear leadership as there was on 21, though?
No.
Like, That's the point.
And I agree with you, Eddie. I agree with you. Like, 21 was so different because you had a guy like N'Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis, all these front-facing guys.
Devontae Wyatt, yeah, you had those guys.
Devontae Wyatt. Yeah. But like in 22, who were
Stetson
like
Bennett.
Obviously Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
But everybody else on that, like a lot of your best players on 22 were more of these like, hey, I'm going to lead by example guys. Yeah. You know, you didn't have a N'Kobe.
Okay, who is that on Georgia this year?
I'm agree. That's my point. I don't know.
I think you could maybe look at Gunnar Stockton. I think he's a silent leader.
They certainly rally around him.
You can clearly tell he does not like the post-game press conference interviews.
No, he's not a good interview.
He does not like doing that. Yeah, but I mean, you go to the defensive side of the ball, maybe Christian Miller, but again,
really, I was going to say CJ Allen, but
CJ Allen more so, I would think.
But you have to. There's 2 factors to leadership. You can be a leader off the field, but you have to also be a leader on the field, and you have to tackle and not let guys get a 7-yard run on you when it's 2 minutes left, and you have to stop him here, and you have to get the ball back, and you go to wrap him up, and he gets right past you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happened all night long last night. We would get them at the line of scrimmage. Next thing you know, they have a 7-yard run, 10-yard run. You're like, what just happened here? So.
Raylan Wilson.
I just think it's eerily familiar to last year. We were all kind of asking that question: who are the leaders on this team? What's going on?
Well, I think it's
kind of trending in that direction this year. I think
it also correlates, Eddie, to if leaders also go to the NFL most of the time. How many NFL guys are on this roster right now that are going to graduate and go to the draft this year or go early? I don't know if you have many guys that are going to go early.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I haven't even thought about you're probably. I mean, I don't know. I haven't even thought. That's a good point, Paul.
I mean,
maybe in 2 years. Maybe in 2 years, we're talking another double digit.
Real quick. We'll run down who played last night, and you guys just stop me if or put a hand up. Andy's good at this. I don't mean to take over the show, Harrison, but Andy,
but he is.
But put a finger up or something like that if you think this guy is an NFL guy who will get drafted this year, out of the guys who played last night. Gunnar Stockton, Chauncey Bowens, Josh McCray, Cash Jones, Nate Frazier, Dwight Phillips, Colby Young, Zachariah Branch, London Humphreys, Dylan Bell, Noah Thomas.
Branch is possible.
I think Colby Young potentially too.
Well, some of those guys you're reading out are Nate Frazier's not even eligible for the draft.
I know. I'm just reading through it all. I'm not trying to do the
Okay.
math of
all
who's.
Right.
And then I'll go past those guys then, since you stopped me from my task there.
Because Oscar Delp,
Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky. I won't read Jaden Riddell because he's not draft eligible. Monroe Freeling, Drew Bobo, Micah Morris, Christian Miller, Jordan Hall, Xavier McLeod, Josh Horton, CJ Allen, Quintavious Johnson, Gabe Harris, Raylan Wilson, Chris Cole, Elo Medozi, KJ's not, Dylan Everett, Janelle Aguero,
Dalen Everett, CJ Allen.
Yeah, Dalen Everett.
Okay, so how many was that?
We might have had 3. We might have
3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, but again, are any of those guys going in the first round? Do we have any first round guys? No. I mean,
not right now. It's very early.
Not right now.
So you go. So what I'm saying is, you go read through who played last night, and we maybe have 3 or 4 guys that we said are draft eligible and are going to get drafted this year. You go through last year's team, there's 7 or 8. You go through the year before, there's 11 to 14.
12. Yeah.
You go through the year before, there's 20.
16. Yeah. That's.
But I think that at the end of the day, I think that's what made last year so disappointing for so many was, and especially now when you see, as much as fans get excited for a guy like Tate Ratledge having a crazy game last weekend, it's like, man, what a missed opportunity by Georgia. When you have 3 of your interior linemen, starting and playing high, it's like, man, what went wrong?
Well, and that tells you right there. That's your answer. You know what it is. You know what the problem is.
And I think all 5 of the guys that played on the offensive line last night will get drafted.
Yes. And they'll probably be really good in the NFL, just like those guys that are in the NFL now. So what happened?
Here's
the answer. The answer is they were not being coached the way they needed to be coached in Athens.
Andy hates Stasis Searles. That's what it is.
Because he sucks. That's why. I'll say it flat out.
Sam Pittman to come home.
I don't even care if it's the pit boss. It's clear a change has to be made on the O-line. I don't care if it's the pit boss. I know it's not happening, but we know what it is. We saw it last year. They didn't make a change. We saw guys go into the NFL on that offensive line, 4 guys, and they're starting.
I will play devil's advocate. It is extremely tough to start 2 true freshmen on the right side of the ball. That's all.
It is. Sure. It is. Sure. I'm with you. I get that.
They did a good job, though.
We know what it is.
Look, if you want a point of optimism, I will say you should be very optimistic about how well Juan Gaston and Dontrell Glover have been playing as true freshmen.
Yeah.
If you want a point of optimism for the future, those 2 guys have been playing really well for true freshmen.
Now, those guys up there. Those guys haven't been here but 3 months.
And that has nothing to do with you just talking about. I was just saying,
Langston Hughes.
Something to be optimistic about.
Send him a message, Paul. You know the Langston Hughes offensive line coach. Let's get him in Athens.
All right. Let's touch on the Falcons briefly before we wrap this thing up. Yeah. There we go. There's your 5: Freeling, Morris, Bobo, Glover, and Gaston. And I think that's the 5 going forward for Georgia. Because they played pretty well. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk the Atlanta Falcons real quick. I guess we'll skip scoreboard for right now.
Yeah.
We'll bring that back next week. Gentlemen, just was that the most Falcons thing ever? Georgia loses on Saturday this morning, and then the Falcons come out and say, "Oh, this weekend all wasn't for nothing."
Eddie, go ahead.
All right, I'll go first. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We within a week we lost 30-0 to the Carolina Panthers, and we look like a high school team. And today we look like a legit NFL team.
Yeah, they did.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
We look good. Now, I will say this. The Commanders made it a game towards the end. It's never over with this team, right? You can't just say, oh, we won the game. But Bijan Robinson's one of the best players in the NFL, and he's on our staff. I mean, he's phenomenal. And Michael Penix, yes, he made a bad throw on that interception, but you could see he didn't put enough air under that, and he was like, that's on me. He looked much better. He's a rookie still. He's still learning on the job. He's going to be really good. Drake London is a beast. Kyle Pitts, hey, look, we got a tight end who's actually making plays and scoring touchdowns, okay? But this team is set up for 8-9, 7-10 because it's so inconsistent. They did that last week. They played better this week. They'll go out and play bad next week, play good again, then play bad. It's just an ongoing cycle of crap. That's what it is. So I'm not excited. I literally sat there today and watched this game like this.
That's how you've been most. That's how you've been most of the show too.
Well, come on. I'm letting you talk, Paul. I'm trying to be congenial to you, okay? But I was just in a fog, and maybe that's because of last night. I was just like, okay, they won, great, good job.
We need everything sucks T-shirts because Eddie always has the "that's ridiculous" T-shirt.
I had that on last weekend.
Sucks T-shirts.
Well, I have this on because they did good. They played well. They beat Southwest DeKalb, so we'll take that.
The one football team does not let Eddie down.
That's right.
I am so not looking forward to talk radio this week. Them talking about Kyle Pitts catching a touchdown. He's back. He's back. Oh my God.
No, he's not back, but he did make some plays.
I guarantee you by Thursday, AM and FM radio are going to be all over Kyle Pitts because he caught a pass.
And you know who the first caller will be to dismiss
Eddie
that?
from Acworth.
EFA, baby.
And I'll pump the show, you bastards. That's what I do.
Yep.
Hey,
I mean,
guys,
it was a cool game.
Yeah,
I think like Eddie said, maybe not in such terms, but this is what you get with the Falcons. You're either going to win a game, you're going to now next week lose a game, and it's just going to be a bounce back and forth. They're going to have to find a hot streak, find 3 games to win in a row to catch the playoffs because this is the quintessential. Damn, this John Green dude loves Eddie.
He does. He says
it's funny. John Green loves Eddie, and the other John just despises me tonight. First time we've ever seen him on the show. But
the other John, I think is
right.
I think the other John is Carrollton John. Mistake me if I'm wrong, John, but the other John
might be, yeah.
I think it's
Carrollton John, yeah.
And he's a good friend of mine. We've become good friends because of our mutual hate for Eddie. But it's good to see he's hitting on you too, Harrison.
Apparently he hates me too. I don't have to retire and just let all come back.
Hate for Eddie. That's great.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, you know what's
wrong with liking Eddie. But
look at the username on that and the irony.
Right. Oh God, that has to be Eddie's burner account.
You know I'm right. Look at him. He's typing on it right now. He's looking down. He's like a kid cheating on a test.
Send a message, Eddie. Send a message.
Yeah, I really hate this podcast, by the way. I hate all of you, and I hate this podcast.
I need to see both hands at all times because if it's just going to be kind of funny that you know I'm right doesn't write in the show anymore. Now that we see the hand.
Gosh.
Eddie seems like the guy you would get arrested with. No, Henry. Eddie's the guy that would call the police on you and get you arrested.
And then I'm bailing you out because Eddie
is get off my lawn.
John Green, DM us on Twitter. We'd love to either get you on here or POS.
I have nothing to do with that. Again, it's Harrison's call.
You do. That's your son. He's upstairs. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. So
Eddie is great. Yeah,
John Green. Hey, look,
that's Kelly.
The people we got in here week to week. Everyone here tonight. The 1,158 that we got here live. Awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It's been fantastic. Awesome. Yes. This chat has been insane. I mean, shoot, as much as people won't like this, if the chat's like this after every time Georgia loses, then I guess we'll have to make do with the losses because the chat has been insane tonight. The lovers and the haters, we appreciate you on both sides. If you love Eddie, if you hate me, if you love Andy or you hate Andy, if you love Paul and want Paul back, sign a petition today. Get Paul back on the show.
Real quick, Harrison. John Green says he doesn't use Twitter. So here's Eddie's personal cell phone: 7704.
I'm not letting him dox him. I'm not letting him dox Paul tonight.
He wouldn't have done it. I know better. He wouldn't have.
I wouldn't. I was stopping at the 4. I was stopping at the 4. You got the first 4 though, John. You got to use your brain for the last 6.
If you guess the last 6, it's meant to be. So it's meant to be. I bet he is putting in his phone right now, calling. Hello, is this Eddie from Acworth? Click. Hello, is this Eddie from Acworth? Click.
Look, we got some. We're working on. Hopefully we have some announcements in terms of some, I guess, potential shows live somewhere. I know Eddie's working on that. We will see.
What? You guys, you guys are doing live
We'll
shows?
talk about off
You
camera.
leave us and we go big time, dog. I mean, we just had to take it to the next level.
Hopefully, if we could do that, we would love to meet some of y'all, even the ones that don't like us. Guys, I got to say it. This has been fun every week. We have a grand time. I mean, we got a group chat that pretty much goes off 7 days a week at this point.
Wow. Well, that's cool too. I mean, didn't have that when I was around.
Hey, this is what happens, Paul.
By the way,
this is what happens, Paul. You leave us, and we have to move on. But anyways, guys, we really appreciate y'all for being with us tonight.
Send the invite. We'll come on. Let's do it all. We'll bust it up.
Especially Paul. Paul will talk for the entire hour. Paul, thank you again.
Crazy.
I'm
my ass, dog.
Paul, this was not
planned. 30 minutes after you guys all made your points. I had to put mine in.
Harrison dropping elbows off the turnbuckle.
Hang on, Harrison. Hang on. I got to answer this.
What's
yes,
question?
Brian Snitker. I think Brian Snitker will be back. I think I
think we all agree on that.
He is entering his 10th season as the manager. But I will say this: I think he is, because he has 811 career wins now. I think he wants the 900, and I think
he's not going to get 900 next year. So he'll be back for a 51st.
He'll be back.
Real quick, Harrison, before we leave, how do you feel about the Dogs moving forward? Real quick.
I mean,
what does that mean? What do you mean? Do you mean
like,
do they make the playoffs, or are they winning the SEC championship? What do you mean?
I'm saying, how do you feel about the Dogs moving forward? It's a very open-ended question. You can answer how you like.
Okay. I guess I'll go first here. I would rather be proven wrong because they don't adjust and they don't get better than be wrong because I think they're going to go 7-6 or whatever. I still think this team is probably going to get 10-2. I'm not so sure I'm as confident about 11-1 at this point. Yeah. They could definitely do it. But I think 10-2 seems like a realistic, attainable, probably rational, I think, thing to stick by at this point. I think you lose maybe one more. Now, I will say, I do think now the margin of error gets a lot slimmer. And you're like, man, there's a couple more games in this schedule where you're like, ooh, like that's going to be a sweater.
Yeah.
But I still think 10-2 is very realistic. That's where I'm at. Andy, Eddie, Paul, you asked the question. You got to answer that as well. Where are y'all at?
I think 10-2 is probably the ceiling right now. I do think we're going to get beat again. Ole Miss scares me. I was not scared, but now they went out and like they're playing that transfer quarterback, and that dude is lighting it up. I know they can't stop anyone, but they lit us up last year, and I'm worried that they're going to light us up again. So I think 10-2 is our max win. And I can look, Texas, who knows? So yeah, I think 10-2 at max, but I think we end up at 9-3. I can see us losing 2 more games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I predicted 10-2, and one of my losses came true. You guys poo-pooed it, but Bama, and I predicted Auburn. But I could see another one. I Paul, am very concerned, and it's not based on what happened last night. It's what happened against Tennessee. It's what happened against Austin Peay.
It's what's happened the whole
trend.
Yeah,
that's right. It's a trend. So I'm very concerned about this football program.
Yeah, I think to wrap up the question that I asked, and I'll answer as well. I think every game is going to be a nail biter, and it's going to come down to 2 or 3 plays. And that is a very different Georgia team than we're used to.
Yep.
Because Kirby has set such a high standard.
Yeah.
And not to say that we're spoiled. I don't like the word spoiled, but we've also come to
the expectations,
the same expectation. And it's tough because you've done this to yourself because you've been so excellent. You've been so good that we expect that every time. And it was Kirby.
Eddie, and show us those hands. My bad, Paul.
Yeah, well, he already sent it. Kirby, it was weird. Watched him walk around the field at the end of the game and then his press conference. Not that he ever wants to lose a game. I don't think he wants to lose a game, but it was almost like a weight was lifted off his shoulders. The 33-game home win streak. Like it just felt like he was not so much at peace, but he was like, all right, the expectations, we can they can be lowered a little bit. Problem is the fans aren't looking at it that way.
And that's some very Dabo-ish crap.
And not saying he did that. He might not have done that, but he didn't look super pissed off. But it might be, when somebody's really mad at you, sometimes they're not super mad. It's more of a disappointment. And if it's a disappointment, then that's even worse than somebody being mad at you.
Yeah. Georgia has, in the last 66 games, they've lost 6 games. Who have they lost to?
66. I assume that's Bama 3 times. 4
Ole
times.
Miss.
And Ole Miss.
Notre Dame. Ole Miss and Notre Dame. That's it. That's who we've lost to in the last 66 games. But we've lost to those same guys 4 times. So who knows? Maybe there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe it's just that one weird thing, and we just have to dodge that bullet somehow, and we can beat everyone else. But
hey, I think at the end of the day, we can all agree this college football season's off to a great start. Things have been really entertaining. We've had some really good games,
and it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change. It's still going to be a good season. We're still having plenty to talk about. If the Dogs don't win a game the rest of the year, we'll still have plenty to talk about. This chat will have plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, win, lose, or draw, we're still here live Sunday nights at 7:30 on the Peach State Power Hour. Paul, we appreciate you for hopping in.
Thank you, Paul.
Even without,
awesome.
I texted you on GroupMe. I was like, man, these guys are hot, Paul. We can use your help tonight. But I wasn't expecting you to actually hop on. So a pleasant surprise. Makes everyone
I appreciate you guys still letting me come in. I didn't get to rant last night on the POS, so I needed somewhere to rant.
I noticed that. I was finishing up my work and I logged on YouTube to see what was going on. I was like, where's Eddie? Where's Paul? Where's Andy?
I was extremely
I was in the car riding home.
I didn't want to talk about it. I literally did not want to talk about it last night.
I was just extremely frustrated on.
And you know what I did? Kelly asked me this morning. We always ask, "How'd you sleep last night?" You know what I did? I said I didn't sleep well. You know what I thought about all last night was Talon Taylor dropping that pass. And what could have been. That's what happens when you lose. You just go through your mind over and over and over and over.
But I took that Talon Taylor. I really let that slide because Ryan Williams dropped one that should have been a touchtown too. So
yeah, but they got a touchdown out of that. They got a touchdown. We got nothing out of that. Yeah. That's the difference.
And did not feel like Terrence Edwards back against Florida? Like when we could not beat Florida, it did not matter.
Yes.
That was my first thing. I just dropped my head and I looked at Key. I was like, dude.
All right, end the show, Harrison. I'm tired of this. End it. Let's go.
Hey, y'all keep butting in as we try to wrap it up. Not my fault.
Let's go.
Hey, real quick, Eddie, your burner. He's infringing upon the John Green copyright. Yeah. John Green can be the Eddie stand. We can't have more than one.
Oh, are you talking about this guy who just commented here?
Yeah. That's our one and only Eddie stand. We need a Paul stand. We need an Andy stand. And then we can add more to Eddie's. But anyways, no, I'm in all seriousness, I'm right. We appreciate you for being here, just like we do everybody else who takes the time to come here and watch us. Whether you disagree with us or you agree with us, we really do appreciate you for coming on.
Are you doing outro again right now? Because I have another question. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I was about to hit the end stream button before you can even get it out.
We'll
be back next Sunday at 7:30. See y'all later.